It's still the same.
It's still the same. Check.
Check. Okay. Hey, welcome to Snackdown. I'm Justin, and this is...
Andy.
And today, it's a nice blistery winter day outside.
Blistery?
Well, like, snow is falling and blowing.
I think a blistery is like blisters.
Like on your skin?
Yeah.
Oh, blustering. That's what I'm thinking of.
It's white, right? Like,
well, I mean, so we were out, and Andy got some chapstick, so maybe it was blistery out.
You're already getting into the chapstick conversation.
Yeah, so I've never had chapstick before, and Andy has. So there's that story.
And I'm not like a big chapstick person. It's just when it's this cold and dry, I feel like a raisin, you know what I mean? Which isn't like necessarily a bad thing because I love raisins, right? But it definitely just dries out everywhere and feel pretty awful.
Yeah,
so.
see, I never used it, but I don't know if maybe like chapstick, once you use it, it like dries your lips, so then you have to keep applying.
Oh, no, that's not
no.
that.
I had a friend, so Dan Rohr.
You become dependent on it?
Yeah. Dan Rohr, who sent us a beer a couple episodes ago when we were younger, we bet him to eat chapstick.
Oh, God.
And so that's a video we have, and we're like, you can't just like swallow it. You have to do like 10 chews.
Ugh.
And so we're like counting while he's like chewing the chapstick.
How many videos do you have that these things need to like come out of the archives?
That one, I think that one I have like on my phone actually.
Maybe we'll upload it.
Maybe we will. Anyways, last week we had a bunch of donuts. I think I gained several pounds. Oh, so I had that beer again, the jelly beer, because I was like, you know, it wasn't as bad as I thought, and I want something to drink. It was so gross.
It was worse.
It was so much worse. I think from having donuts, the sweetness of the donuts, it dulled the sweetness of the beer.
So it's much sweeter when you
it's
just drink it alone?
It's very sweet. I was like, this is gross. Because I didn't remember it being that sweet. We kept talking about how subtle it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, yeah, I'll have it.
People who've like actually tried it, like were outraged.
Yeah, because we had just had like jelly donuts and all that. So then when we had the beer, I was like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad. It was very strawberry. It wasn't subtle like we were talking about. Anyways, so what we're going to do today, since we did a food episode last week, is we are going to get back into the drink world with some cocktails. And these are always my favorite episodes because I like cocktails. So we're going to do a couple. This first one is one that I think I've had maybe once.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I liked it. So we're going to do a martini.
Now, what kind of martini?
So I'm having just a regular martini.
So like a gin martini.
A gin martini.
Like people have like vodka martinis and then like gin.
So I think I've had a martini years ago. I think I sipped one, and I don't think I liked it very much. But I also wasn't like into drinking at the time. Like I didn't drink much. And so I had an idea.
You're like, this doesn't taste like water.
Yeah. Where's the soda? No. This was like when I was 12.
Yeah, your parents are like, how do you have a martini glass and a martini? You were doing Snackdown like when you were 12. Just like gearing up for this moment. You had like a fake microphone. It was just like, it was like a sock on a hockey stick.
No, it was one of those that kind of echoes when you're talking to it. And then it has like the sound effects buttons.
You're like, hey, welcome to Snackdown. I'm Justin. And gosh, who am I going to do this with eventually?
But from drinking martini, I think that's where I had this idea that I didn't like gin. But then we did the gin when we had a gimlet. I still don't know why it's not called a ginlet.
We talked about this. Yeah. Go back to the
Simply Cocktails episode and listen to that one. But then I was like, wow, gin's pretty good. And so then I was like, oh, I'm kind of excited to try martini. Now, so a martini has gin and vermouth, and I hear vermouth is gross.
What? Why?
Maybe we should try straight vermouth. Maybe during this episode.
Okay.
So that I know what vermouth tastes like.
We'll kind of do like after the break or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So right now we got some gin, some vermouth, some dry vermouth, and then it's bamboo speared with an olive. Now
an olive spear with a bamboo.
Yeah. I got an olive stick and a piece of bamboo.
A thin bamboo wafer.
And so Annie's is a little different than mine. You want to explain that?
Yeah, so mine is dirty. So you basically just add a little bit of olive juice.
Let's try this thing.
Yeah, let's get it.
I can smell the gin for sure.
I like mine.
It's very simple. So gin on its own has its own little like sweetness because of maybe the
juniper berries.
The juniper berries?
Yeah.
The vermouth kind of cuts it and makes it a little bit more bitter.
Mm-hmm. So vermouth is either a red or white wine that's dry and flavored with herbs. So it is a wine. Did you know that?
Like distilled wine?
I don't think it's distilled.
Okay, because distilled wine is usually brandy.
And vermouth is about, I would guess, around So according to Wikipedia, most vermouths are bottled at about 16 and 18%. Which I think for most yeasts, that's about kind of where they max out in terms of like wine yeasts.
I did not know it was made from wine at all, really. I guess it makes sense, though, because there's a red and white vermouth.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a red vermouth.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always, like, the only thing that I can think of with using vermouth is primarily a gin martini.
So yeah, we're drinking these out of martini glasses.
Of course.
Which is kind of like a margarita glass, only
I think people know what a martini
and it's more hourglass shaped instead of bowl shaped.
It looks like one of those cheap college lamps or like a floor lamp.
Yeah, it does. I had a lamp that had this same
in
top.
college, but without like the three heads.
Yeah, just the top. It kind of looks like a when you don't want your animal to bite themselves, you put the cone on their heads.
An Elizabethan collar, if you will.
Yeah. So that's what we're drinking these out of. Now, do you eat the olive when you're done?
I don't think there's any hard fast rule of when you eat your olive. Go nuts.
But
whatever.
what are your stances on eating garnish?
Eat the garnish.
But what if it was a martini can be garnished with an olive or a lemon peel? I don't think you eat the lemon peel.
Eat the lemon peel.
So here's a funny story about garnish. So you know how like sometimes you eat, like if you eat out or something like that, they'll put some garnish like lettuce or something on your plate, but it's really not meant to be eaten.
You mean kale? Because kale was used as like a garnish a lot.
Yeah, so like you get like a fancy meal and they put a little thing on the side, but it's more for the plating. It's more for, so it's for looks basically. So when we were kids and we get something like that, my mom would tell us it was like, it's for looks. Mm-hmm. So me and my brother would call it the looks. So then we were always like, do we have to eat the looks?
You two had like your own like secret language.
Yeah. But then if like it's something that like we don't want to eat or something like that or something we don't really like, we're like, that's just looks, right?
Brussels sprouts? You're like, those are just the looks. And they're like, well, there's a whole plate full of them.
Yeah.
Do you like Brussels sprouts?
Actually, yeah. If it's done right. If you do them in the oven with some cheese and stuff, that's delicious.
Hey, can I tell you a story?
Sure. Is this a story time?
Yeah. Okay, so when I was in middle school, my grandma stayed down with us for a couple weeks after my grandfather died. And so, 6 weeks, like that was a lot of time to spend with someone that I've never spent 6 weeks with in my life, right? Mm-hmm. So during that time, she had osteoporosis and osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis and everything, a lot under the sun. And she was turning in the garage to throw something out in the recycling bin, twisted and broke her hip. But when she got done with surgery, when she got done with rehab, she got to come home to us, right? Because it wouldn't have been possible to kind of ship her up, back to New York and everything. And she always loved having a gin martini. When she was at that age and with her hip broken and everything, she couldn't really like get to the kitchen to make her own martini. So when I got out of school, I would make her a martini.
That's great. That's a good story.
So it was 2 shots gin, 1 shot vermouth, and 2 ice cubes. Maybe 3
How old were you?
I was between 6th and 8th grade.
Okay, it wasn't like you were
maybe 7th
using your school books to like reach up to the cabinet.
No.
8.
Not quite, but I mean like
making grandma's martini.
I mean, I obviously wasn't drinking at that time.
Yeah,
maybe not obvious, but
I
wasn't.
Did you ever
drinking.
take a sip? Did you ever sneak a sip?
I don't think so.
No. It probably at that age doesn't smell that great. You know what I mean?
No. So anytime I have a martini, I think of my grandma, and that's why. Because, I mean, she didn't have the olive juice, and I prefer olive juice, but she would have, like, Beefeater gin, and then I think Martini Rossi.
Beefeater gin?
Yeah, Beefeater gin.
Huh. Beefeater Jim sounds like...
A guy.
Who
goes to the gym, whose name is Jim, and eats a ton of hot AF.
Or some, like, crazy vodcaster on YouTube that, like...
A what caster?
Vodcaster.
What's a vodcaster?
A videocast.
Oh, I thought it was just vlogging.
Oh, yeah,
are we out of the era of vlogging?
You can vlog or you can vodcast. It's kind of like a podcast.
I've never heard podcasting. No.
Well, you should check out Beefeater Jim's vodcast.
Beefeater Jim's weightlifting and nutrition vodcast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All protein, all the time.
So it looks like it's a clear bottle, red cap, and it's like this British soldier, like an old-timey British soldier with like, like red apparel in it.
So do you like the martini?
Yeah.
This tastes like other martinis you've had?
Yeah. It's right in line.
That's good.
It's right in line. No, this one has like a little bit of a weird shoe flavor. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. No, it's I like martinis.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts? I mean, you haven't had one for a long time.
So, it's good. I'd like to try like the vermouth to figure out what flavor it is. Because I've had the gin, and it's definitely more bitter because of the vermouth. I was going to look up the history of a martini.
And so for olives, we just got, what is it, Spanish pepper?
Yeah, they're just like basic olives.
Yeah,
we could have gotten like martini olives, which were soaked in vermouth, but...
Oh, we didn't get those?
Did we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
So we got
So we could have gotten those martini olives, and we did.
And then we did, yeah. So Martini was made famous by Ernest Hemingway. Said he's never tasted anything so cool and clean. They make me feel civilized. That's what he says in A Farewell to Arms. And I guess there's the famous James Bond, Shaken Not Stirred.
Right, obviously.
Yeah.
Like those are like pop.
Those
pop
are
references.
that make the martini like popular.
That helped drive it to popularity? Really?
Of course, it goes, the history of this American drink is slightly more murky, which is just how every cocktail history is. There's like 5 different...
An olive merchant had too many olives. Like, it's just so stupid. Yeah.
The olive truck spilled over, and
Yeah.
a couple of them fell into the gin barrel. And so, according to this, it says, apparently a gold miner who had recently struck it rich decided to celebrate his good fortune at a local bar. He requested champagne, which they didn't have, so the bartender insisted on concocting another beverage made from ingredients he had on hand, which was gin, vermouth, bitters, maraschino liqueur, and a slice of lemons. Thus, the Martinez Special was born. So the miner enjoyed the cocktail that he tried to order again in San Francisco, where the bartender required instruction on its preparation, and the popularity of the sweet drink spread. However, this theory isn't unanimously accepted. But yeah, then it says like another miner wanted it in San Francisco. Apparently it was a miner.
Yeah. What's up with miners in these fancy...
Well, it was like San Francisco in the 1800s? So
it
it
was
was
like Gold Rush?
Yeah, so like everyone was a miner.
Maybe around like 49.
So this one says he wanted to pick me up, so that means he probably wasn't doing very good, gold-wise. So
it's a poor miner's drink.
Yeah. But that's funny because... So I think of Martini as very like high class, kind of. Not like pinkies out, high society. But like I wouldn't go into a bar and get a martini. And I also wouldn't get drunk on a martini. You know what I mean? Like people would go drinking
what are you doing this weekend?
You know what I mean? Like people are drinking like tons of margaritas and you're drinking your rum and cokes and all that stuff. But then I feel like...
I like martinis. I'm not sure if I could be like, oh yeah, I'll have another martini. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I just feel like it's not... If you're drinking martinis, I feel like you're more sophisticated. Like you're having like a nice conversation.
I've seen some sophisticated people get schwasty cakes. Okay.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. Like I feel like you're out having a nice like business dinner or something like that, and sipping on a martini. You're not like, hey, another round of martinis.
A working lunch, if you will.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's good.
But
though.
Yeah, it's good. It's better than I remember from years
12,
ago.
When you were 12.
Yeah, when I was 12, and I was doing my other podcast on the tape recorder. So I definitely want to. I definitely want to try some vermouth just to see. Because it's not, like we tried a little bit of straight gin, just so I could taste the juniper berries, and it was a lot sweeter than I thought. And in my mind, gin was vermouth. That's why in that episode I was like, oh, I don't like gin. And you're like, you don't like gin? It's because I was thinking vermouth.
But you don't know what vermouth tastes like.
Yeah, so I don't know what vermouth tastes like. So when I had the gin, I was surprised that it was like kind of sweet and good tasting. So I kind of am interested to what vermouth tastes like. Because it's definitely bitter. Because this is this is mostly gin. The recipe that we used was 2.5 parts gin, half part vermouth. So I mean, it's mostly gin. And yeah, it cuts the juniper berry sweetness and gives it a little bitterness. So here's a question, going back to that pop culture question. What's the difference between shaken and not stirred? Would that change flavor?
I don't know. I have no clue.
I just don't understand how that would do anything. Other than maybe shake up, like if you had something carbonated, you wouldn't want it shaken. But there's something carbonated.
Or minimally like aerating something.
Yeah.
Or maybe stirring it just enough to kind of... So like there's maybe still a bit of like a floated flavor to it. Mm-hmm. But that I'm not sure. I think James Bond was just kind of being like a...
highfalutin.
Just kind of extra.
Yeah.
Hey, well, let's just take a break.
We're going to take a break because there's snow plowing and it's loud. And we have another...
We want to make another drink, and then we also want to have a tiny bit of vermouth and see what that tastes like.
We'll tell you what that tastes like.
So we'll snack you in a bit.
All right, goodbye.
Snack around.
Snack around. Snack around for the last snack. What? No.
The bot is not functioning.
Snack around for the last snack. Hey, we're back. We got a little cups of vermouth. I put a little tiny bit in Andy's. So we're just going to try some straight vermouth. I don't know if people take shots of vermouth, but it smells sweeter than I thought it would be, actually.
And this is the dry vermouth, correct?
This is dry. It smells like wine. You smell that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
This is sweet.
It's very sweet. It tastes like wine.
This tastes like sacramental wine. Like sacramental, like white wine at a Catholic church.
Yeah, it does.
Kinda? Right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But that's so weird. This is not at all what I was expecting.
Gosh, why don't we just drink vermouth?
Vermouth, yeah. That's delicious.
Who'd have thought?
Wow, that was not what I was expecting at all.
Not bad.
But that combined with the gin must make
So it's a little mealy. Not mealy. Maybe that's the taste.
It's dry, but in a way that like
an
unripe fruit. Like, have you ever had a persimmon? An unripe persimmon?
I don't know.
So never ever. This is a life rule. Eat an unripe persimmon. So an unripe
it's like a choke cherry almost.
An unripe persimmon will give you like instantly the worst cottonmouth you've ever had. And I have never experienced that before. And I tried one, and it just like was the grossest thing I've ever had. And it like my whole mouth went like completely like it felt like I had like a ton of cotton balls in it, and it was just dry and like it was gross. And I was like, ugh, persimmons.
I think it's persimmon.
Persimmon?
Yeah.
Persimmon. Persimmon.
Persimmon. Anyways, unripe persimmon is like instant cottonmouth.
According to Harnett County, an unripe American persimmon will cause your mouth to pucker so bad that the average person will not eat enough of this fruit to cause a bezoar.
Cause a what?
Bezoar?
What's a bezoar?
Bezoar. It was so bad. Like, it's insane. And it's known for, like, if you're eating persimmon, you have to do it right when it's ripe. Because if it's unripe, it's just, like, the worst thing.
You ready?
Yeah.
A bezoar is a solid mass of indigestible material that accumulates in your digestive tract, sometimes causing a blockage. Bezoars usually form in the stomach, sometimes in the small intestine, or rarely the large intestine. There's different types of bezoars. Should we go into this or not?
How bizarre. No.
Every time I look around. Phytobezoar is composed of indigestible food fibers such as cellulose. A trichobezoar is composed of hair or hair-like fibers such as carpet or clothing fibers. In severe cases known as Rapunzel syndrome, the compacted fibers can fill the stomach with a tail extending into the small intestine. Let's cut that.
Oh, gross. Rapunzel syndrome.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. So don't eat too much ripe persimmon.
Or just hair at that point.
You'll have Rapunzel in your stomach. So now we're going to try some sweet vermouth. And the last stuff was pretty sweet, so...
This is peppery. You smell that?
I mean, this is obviously from red wine, because this is red.
Yeah.
Actually, it kind of looks bourbony. It's a little brown.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's very like holiday spiced almost, and peppery, and that is all over the place.
It is. It's sweet. It does have a little bit of a taste of the red wine, but there is like a peppermint. I was thinking peppermint, but I don't think it's peppermint. It's holiday though.
I think it's like a peppery and like it's
an anise spice. No,
and then maybe like an orange rind to it. You know? Would you say?
Yeah. I was just thinking of vermouth as this like grossly bitter thing, but
it's very dynamic.
I could just drink this vermouth.
Could you? Would you get a bezoar?
I might.
That's crazy.
It is a
I didn't know that would...
And you're a nurse and you didn't ever hear about a bezoar.
Maybe I blocked it out of my memory at some point in nursing school. Maybe it's so uncommon.
The dreams you don't remember are about bezoars.
Yeah. Hey, did you dream of anything last night? No, but I am sweating pretty profusely and kind of woke up with some agitation, so...
It was a bezoar dream. Did you mean bizarre? Nope. Bezoar. That's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's spicy. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. But I could definitely see that pairing pretty well with a bunch of different cocktails.
It's very cheap, too. All the vermouth bottles we bought were like $5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So instead of getting your Mad Dog 50-50...
Yeah, put this in a paper bag and go for it.
Take a winter cruise.
If you're looking for
walking. We're just talking walking.
Yeah, walking.
Stroll.
If you're looking for a
on your private property.
Winter holiday binge, drink some vermouth. Okay, on that note, we'll be right back. We're going to make another drink, and we're going to use the sweet vermouth this time instead of the dry vermouth. We're going to make another cocktail, and it's another popular, famous cocktail, and we'll make that and tell you what it is in a second. So we'll be right back.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, guess what? We're back.
Guess what?
And we have another drink. We decided on break what the second drink would be because we had a couple ideas. But this is a Manhattan. It's a classic drink, another classic. And this has vermouth in it too, but this has sweet vermouth. So now we know what sweet vermouth is. So maybe we'll be able to spot it.
Today's very vermouthy. Maybe we'll kind of think of title names.
Yeah.
How about Vermouth blisters?
Put some chapstick on your
Vermouths.
Yeah, so this is a Manhattan. It's got rye in it. It said whiskey, but the chosen choice, the best choice, I guess, is rye.
The chosen alcohol
is rye, which I already had. The Rittenhouse rye, which is from a very early episode. I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't even remember which one that one's in. So yeah, so we got some rye in here, and then it's got some sweet vermouth. It has some dashes of Angostura bitters, and then it's garnished, or the looks, if you will, is the maraschino cherries.
I think the looks is just going to be the stem because I'm going to get in on that.
And these maraschino cherries are tipsy cherries, which means they are soaked in whiskey. I just got some in my nose. I went to smell it, and I almost drowned.
This is really good.
Is it? Ooh. Have you ever had a Manhattan before?
Yummy!
Have you ever had a Manhattan before?
Yeah.
I haven't.
I've had this is like, so, for like an upstater, it's just like, okay, whatever, bud. And for like a downstater, it's like, okay, we've all done this, but had like a Manhattan, in Manhattan, on like a rooftop bar.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
There's a very small group of people that think that's cool. So I think that's cool that you think it's cool.
The people in Manhattan probably are like, wow,
stop.
look at this tourist.
Whatever, yeah.
Were you wearing like a...
Yeah, yes, I was. American flag fanny pack, yes.
Yeah, and like you had like
Jean
two
jacket,
cameras around your neck.
Three cameras,
like, three.
Yeah, it was a 3-camera day.
Manhattan, please.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, where are we? And I like looked at the map and I like started like pointing at the word Manhattan.
You pulled the map out of the fanny pack.
Yeah, it was impossibly large. It was actually a world map, and then I had to use a magnifying glass.
But yeah, this is really, really good.
It zoomed in infinitely.
And now that I know what the sweet vermouth is, I can kind of pull that out.
Mm-hmm. Definitely like a little bit with the spiciness. Mm-hmm. Would you say?
But the sweetness to it is the vermouth, because I've had the rye before. Mm-hmm. But it definitely has that like red wine sweetness to it.
I'm definitely glad we like deconstructed vermouth a little bit today.
Yeah.
We saw it composed and balanced with cocktails, and then we saw it...
I think I'm more surprised...
We saw it naked.
In all the drink episodes we've done and all the liquors we've tasted, I think I'm most surprised by vermouth.
Really?
Because I feel like vermouth has a...
I think I'm most surprised by the bomba.
Yeah? That was good.
Yeah, no. Okay. Okay.
It was surprisingly better when we added water.
I derailed you. I'm sorry.
But I think vermouth has this stigma of like, it goes in drinks, but you don't drink it because it's not very good. At least that's what I've heard of vermouth.
Don't just drink straight vermouth outside of your home, okay, Justin?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like it has a stigma of like it doesn't have good flavor. Because like in the martini, you just added, it's 2.5 parts gin, half part vermouth. So it's just a little tiny bit in there, and it's the same. This is a 2-in-1 ratio, but it's more to like boost flavor to something else. You're not trying to taste the vermouth, but when we had it, I was like, oh, it actually just tastes like...
So this is 2 ounces of rye and then 1 ounce of vermouth.
Yeah.
I think the spiciness and the sweetness blends really well with the rye.
Yeah. But I was surprised by the vermouth. It definitely reminded me of wine, and it tasted like condensed wine. That's like taking wine and like, I don't know.
Shrinking it?
Yeah. I don't know if that's a...
Simmering it and recapturing the alcohol?
Yeah, but like...
Distilled wine, almost?
No, because distilled wine is brandy, and it was like, it definitely tasted more like wine, but it was like more potent. Like you're taking the whole bottle of red wine and fitting it into a little cube. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but...
It does. I like it. I think I can appreciate a Manhattan a little more now that I know the components a little better.
Yeah.
In more of an intimate way.
Yeah. So, Andy, here's a question for you specifically. These two drinks that we've had, Manhattan and a martini, seasons.
I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah.
These are not hot weather drinks. That's all I can say. These are
really?
No, these are not hot weather drinks.
But they're made on ice.
I don't care, Justin. I don't think these are hot weather drinks.
So that means like if you lived in like somewhere very high up in the world,
or Alaska,
like Alaska,
like Game
you
On,
could drink it all
year long.
Yeah. So it's not seasonal; it's weather related. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And barometrically, I don't think this is necessarily like a low pressure type of drink too.
I could definitely see.
With you on
I could definitely see drinking these around like the holidays. That could be because the vermouth bottles were green and red.
Yeah.
But
sometimes I have my Easter martini, Just a little springtime snack.
Garnished with a little bit of licorice.
3 jelly beans on the top end.
Skewered through the bamboo.
Skewered with a olive.
You gotta use those olive skewers. Less trash when you can eat the skewer.
Them are some hard-ass olives.
I'm excited to get to the bottom of this and eat the cherries. Did you eat one already?
Yeah.
Did you reach in with your fingers?
No, one of the stems was kind of...
You nibbled it? This is really good.
Making a scene.
I'm happy that through this podcast I'm like expanding my cocktails knowledge so that when I go out to a bar I know, oh, martini.
What's in it?
Manhattan. Mm-hmm. I just spilled Manhattan on me.
You Manhattaned yourself.
So, let's recap.
Gosh, let's recap.
We had a martini, mostly gin, a little bit of dry vermouth, and it kind of, even though the vermouth is sweet, it did cut down somehow and make the gin less ginny. It made it a little bit more bitter, right? Maybe 2 sweets make it better?
I don't think that's how it works. I would think sweetness would be like a positive thing, right?
Yeah. So the vermouth was much more sweet than I thought, and I was thinking all the bitterness that was in a martini was from the vermouth, but I guess that's just the gin.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I feel like I was able to deconstruct this Manhattan a lot better than we were able to pick apart.
We should have done
the
vermouths first. But it was good. I mean, if you like anything with gin in it, then you would probably like a martini. I didn't try Andy's with the olive juice. Mine was just garnished with olive. The looks, if you will. And I ate my looks.
Yes, you did. But
did.
You kind of went at it like a licorice. Kind of very sheepish about it.
I'm not a huge olive fan. If olives are hidden in things, I kind of like them. But I'm not an olive snacker. They're very potent.
I don't have a good grip on your tastes.
No.
I have no idea. You're flying off the rails all the time. You're all over the place.
Really?
It must have been horrible to cook for you as your mom.
Oh, probably.
You're like, grapes? Sure, Mom. Raisins? Yucky. Pickles? Yep. Olives? No way. And those are the only ones I can think of right now. But we're going to make a game show at some point, and it's going to be, does Justin like this? It's going to be called Yuck or Yum.
Yuck or Yum. We've done that before, haven't we? You said something about yucking my yum.
Like, I would never yuck your yum.
Okay.
I have, though.
You've yucked my yum many times. Yeah, so that was the martini that we had. Then we tried the 2 vermouths, and those were pretty good, actually. Very similar to wine. Compacted, if you will. I don't know if that makes sense. They were both sweeter, I think, than wine.
So if you were to drink one, if you had to pick one to like just sip on, which one would you pick?
I think I would do the white because the red, the
was
sweet
more
vermouth was very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost like a simple syrup.
Very sweet and spicy.
Yeah. But both of them were very similar to wine. It's just more, I think they were just more intense in flavor and sweetness.
It's almost like they took a bottle of wine and then they compacted
it into it.
oh my God. Oh my God.
Into a single sip. And then we had a Manhattan here, which is rye, sweet vermouth, and a little bit of Angostura bitters, what is Angostura bitters, actually? Let's look that up real quick. So Angostura bitters is concentrated bitters based on gentian herbs and spices by House of Angostura in Trinidad and Tobago. It's used in flavored beverages or less often food.
So it was founded in the Venezuelan town of Angostura by a German doctor, Johann Gottlieb Benjamin Siegert, Surgeon General in Simón Bolívar's army in Venezuela. And around 1820, he had tried to find a medicine to improve appetite and digestive well-being of the soldiers, so that the soldiers didn't get bazaars. No, I'm kidding. That wasn't. Wouldn't that be insane?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my God, we're doing it again.
We died of bazaars.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. But I did not...
It's just a mixture of like bitter herbs, I think. It must be.
That's it.
Bitter herbs?
Sure.
Yeah. So it's just a combination of bitter herbs.
I would not have guessed. Would you have guessed Trinidad?
No. Trinidad and Tobago? No, not at all.
Not at all.
And it says sometimes it's put in food, which that's weird. But, so yeah, this had rye, Angostura bitters, and sweet vermouth. Which one did you like better?
Which one did I like better?
Which one did you like better, the Manhattan or the martini? So I know you're a gin guy, but...
I would say I don't think I could pick. Really? But I can say that I learned a heck of a lot more about what goes into a Manhattan now that I've had it.
Yeah.
Both actually, no, I wouldn't have been able to guess what's in a Manhattan. Honest to God.
Really?
I guess I've never made them at home. I've had them a couple times out in public, but...
I liked the Manhattan better, I think. I think I could drink it more consistently.
Because you're a rye guy.
I like the whiskey, and it was a little bit sweeter, so I think I could drink it more consistently. but I don't think it was like better in like flavor wise. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't like a slam dunk.
Yeah, like I think it's not just like a better drink than a martini, because the martini was good, and I could definitely drink a martini when the circumstance arose. But I think I could drink more Manhattans than I could martinis.
It's good though. This has all been great.
Yeah, this is awesome. I feel high class.
Do you want to say what we were also going to pair it with?
Yeah, so I earlier in the week I was like, Andy, let's do martinis and margaritas, and Andy's like, that's a weird combo. Mm-hmm. And I said, they both start with M. I think it works perfectly.
I'm like, this conversation is getting dumber. But I think, but you also said Manhattans were an option. And I think it was great to pull an audible.
Yeah, because the plan up until like today, this morning, was going to do margarita. But then I saw Manhattan. I don't know why I saw Manhattan. And it used vermouth also. And so that was a good audible. Because it's kind of cool to compare both the dry and the sweet vermouth. Mm-hmm. But we will have margaritas in the future, as I have all the things to make margaritas.
And we were at the store today, like picking up, the olives and what have you. And some lady had it was like a, what is it? A sample
cart?
A sample lady.
Yeah.
Super nice. She almost was like, bless you. Bless you for trying the chips and queso. Like, we're just kind of like, you're welcome. And like, we could just do this all day if you want.
But man, that was good queso.
Gosh.
So she was a queso peddler today.
The queso queen, if you will.
And Andy's like, let's snack on some queso while we drink. And I'm like, queso in Manhattan?
And that was if we were doing a margarita.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we kind of made the decision when we were in the store, I think.
To go with martini and Manhattan, which the queso did not pair well with.
We could have just bought it just in queso.
Ooh.
So dumb.
Zing.
That was so dumb.
Okay, well.
The snow stopped, Justin. Evening is setting in blistery upstate New York, and you have a party to go to.
I gotta come with another reason not to go to the party. I did drink a little too much, though.
Uber. You should do it. If you don't go, report back to me tomorrow.
I'll report.
I will be asking you, and I will be demanding pictures.
I should ask Wayne, like, what did you mean, rotisserie chicken?
Yeah, bring a rotisserie chicken.
That's what he said. Oh, my phone said.
Bring like a $5
chicken.
An entire chicken for $5?
Yeah, they have that at Wickman's. $4.99 rotisserie chickens. They're really good.
And it's an entire rotisserie chicken. Mm-hmm. Is it small or big?
It's like...
Could you... I mean, just like think... Let's just think about this, right? Think about like feeding an animal. Like we're in a consumer market, like, oh yeah, it was just $5 for that chicken. Think of like raising a chicken. That must have cost way more than just $5 in feed.
$5, yeah.
Right? Just in feed. Just in feed alone. Not having to do with processing. Cooking, like the wattage of that oven must have been more than $5. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like the electricity that went into the wattage of that oven was more than $5. It's good
rotisserie chicken, though. You've never had a $5 rotisserie chicken from Wegmans?
I gotta say, I'm not a big rotisserie chicken guy.
Yeah, I'm not either, but they're good.
Nice. Are you a big like chicken breast guy or not? Is it too dry?
I like chicken in like small bits.
Thighs.
I had some teriyaki chicken. That was really good.
You're just talking about chicken as like a flavor. I'm talking about like parts of the chicken. Like, are you a big like chicken thigh guy?
I like
Are you a thigh man?
I like chicken skin.
Or a breast man.
Really good.
You like chicken skin.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
So that's what
I was kind of doing, like a weird, like, preference, like illusion or whatever, and then you're just like, I like the skin.
I do. I love chicken skin. I told someone if they made a chicken skin sandwich, I would eat it.
Oh, come on. Fried or what? Or just baked?
Whatever, like however they do like the fried or like the rotisserie chickens or fried. I just like chicken skin. It's good. Someone agreed with me though.
Does it have to be cooked?
Well, yeah, right. You have to cook the skin.
Yes. I don't know. You're chicken skin man.
I could eat a lot of chicken skin. Here's another wrench in the works for you figuring out my taste.
I'm just kind of unhappy that we even got on this subject, and I think I brought it up. You were out of your damn mind. Well, anyway, that's all we have time for Snackdown this week.
So thanks for joining us, and we had a couple of good drinks. Put on a nice suit and go out and try one of them, two of them. Go be like Andy and go to Manhattan and order a Manhattan.
On the rooftop of Manhattan.
Yeah.
And just go...
Yes.
I was about to go, humans.
Unzip make sure you bring cash and a fanny pack. All ones.
All ones?
Yeah.
You going to a strippy at the end?
No.
I feel like that's what like someone would call like a strip joint in like Canada.
A strippy?
Or probably like Australia. Yeah, we're going out to the strippy. No.
And the outback and the strippy?
No, we just meant chicken strippy. Mom. Mem.
Mem. Okay. Thanks for listening today. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can find this episode and others like it on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a bunch of other places. And you can go to our website at www.snackdownpod.com. And we appreciate all your listens, and tell your friends, and give us a review on Apple Podcasts if you're bored and have nothing to type about.
If your fingers are just having, like, restless finger syndrome.
Yeah, if you, like, want to type something, like, click on the 5 stars and give us a review.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Snack you later.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, have a great day and a night and an afternoon and a weekend. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
All right, bye. Bye, guys.
Bye. I meant to pay more.
Excuse me? Ring it up again. I said ring it up again. How old was this chicken?